G'day viewers.
G'day viewers.
AIDzee here. We wanted to talk about a few things that you'll see over a period of time.
Yeah.
And one for our generation and people older than us that would have affected people, would have affected us more than younger people, was the death of David Bowie.
Yes, David Bowie died of cancer, poor bugger, and he was going well too.
The complete side note, the pictures that were posted of him, like, taken a couple of days before he died, I'm just going to throw it out there. He chose to end it on his terms, is what I'm saying. Because my sister died of cancer and she couldn't walk for 6 months before she died. Yeah. So posing these standing happy photos, I think he went out on his terms. More fucking power to him. Now, there's always someone who says you shouldn't be upset about that. Whatever. But there's been some with Bowie, because he led a particularly decadent lifestyle.
He was definitely touching the sky.
In the 70s particularly.
Oh, yeah.
Some mad fucked up shit happened. And people specifically linked him to what was known at the time as the baby groupie scene. And that's as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
That is rock stars fucking 13-year-olds that they know are 13.
Which is, never okay, really.
No, that is not a good thing. And I'm 100% on board with laws that say someone that young can't make an informed decision. The adult who makes the decision to fuck them, no matter how much that 12 or 13-year-old comes to them, it's the adult who's fucking up there. Interestingly, the most negative people saying things about Bowie were resorting to gossip and innuendo. But even, let's say for argument's sake, he was in there.
Let's just say that it was real, because at the moment, understand there is actually no evidence that any of that happened.
Certainly no 13-year-old has come forward and explicitly said they did. He was definitely part of the scene where some of the big names, people like Jimmy Page and other huge names from the time, were fucking 13-year-olds, 12 and 13-year-olds.
They absolutely were. That's documented. There even goes photos and shit going on. So they know that.
It was open. There were magazines running features about baby groupies, which honestly, in my mind, is way more fucked up than the rock stars fucking them. The fact that there were magazines who were running it like it was a glamour story, that shit is fucked up.
What are you doing?
But there are a number of elements that I think some people aren't necessarily taking into account. One, Bowie definitely moved past it. If he did it, it was a fucked and wrong thing to do, and it was his responsibility.
Yeah.
But the people criticising it, I think, have no understanding of what that world actually is.
And it's a full-on world. The rockstar lifestyle is a very full-on place. You only really get glimpses of it in the popular media, of how wild and crazy it is. But wild and crazy doesn't sort of stop at the parties. It keeps on going above and beyond. It's not like they're suffering, because basically any problem they have, they can throw cash at it until it's eroded or goes away. Just ask bloody I've drawn a blank on his name. Singer John Michael Jackson.
So, okay, let's draw a comparison with someone who didn't stop doing fucked up shit with underage kids. Through someone, Bowie, who did actively reject it when he got past. I mean, seriously, if you're come from nothing, you're a working class kid who's thrown in everything's thrown at you, the ability to resist...
It'd be fuck all.
Yeah.
But zero.
Which does not excuse an adult making a really fucked decision. Okay? This is not putting it on the victims of it. 13-year-olds, no matter how much they seemed to be coming forward for it, it's the adult's responsibility to say, no, this is not on.
It's the same old story with the drunk chick, right?
Yeah.
If she can't bloody say no, because she's too fucking drunk, well, she can't say yes either. So, you got to walk away from that. That's not something that is clearly legibly a thing that you should be doing. If you find the paralytic drunk chick, you basically got to get a bucket and a bloody washcloth to comfort her, not just to fuck her. That's not really the go. You might find out later on she might have wanted to, but that's later on. Later on is not good. Hindsight is not a good tool to look at sex with.
Yeah, and again, with the whole, the rock star, the sports star, the media personality, the politician who abuses their power, they could easily get it on with someone who is of age, who is going to put themselves forward. When they make the decision to go to someone who is not capable of making the decision,
It's not really.
that's a fucked activity. Whether it's their age, gender, their state of inebriation, okay? You're making a decision to do something fucked, okay? But, yeah, it's like, does that affect Bowie's art, though? Because Bowie is, I don't think anyone sensible could argue that he's one of the more significant musical artists of the 20th century.
Well, I mean, you say the same thing, therefore, about John Lennon. Now, John Lennon had some really nasty traits to him. He was quite a bastard.
And, yeah, beat women. Had some very bad personality traits. But, I mean, okay, again, he was in the fucking Beatles. There was no one more worse than that. You get detached from reality. It doesn't excuse his bad decisions and bad actions. But people who are never in that situation, thinking they can pass judgment as if they would be much better people if they were in that situation.
Yeah, no, you can't, because you won't. And you're not going to get into that place unless you can basically overcome all of the simple difficulties of an everyday lifestyle to get to a rock star lifestyle, which means you've got something so valuable that people are prepared to pay you millions and millions of bucks to do your dance for them for a couple of hours on the weekend. Now, most people I know don't have the kind of skills and talent to do that. Some of them do. They're good to know. But most people I meet just aren't in that league. Just basically don't have the ability to put their own minds into the submind of thousands of people at once. They can't relate to lots and lots of people all at once in an artistic form or forum. They're just not wired up for it. They have a lot of trouble looking at themselves in the mirror and going, oh, I don't measure up to this or that. They don't have the ability to go, there are thousands of people on the street who had to commute to work today, and this is what they're worried about, so I'm going to sing about that. They don't have that kind of skill. They can't put themselves aside long enough to do that. So they don't have the kinds of mental scape to make that grade. Therefore, when they start going, I wouldn't have done that, it's like, yeah, but mate, you wouldn't jump off a building. You know, you wouldn't fucking jump out of an aeroplane. You fucking wouldn't go scuba diving, and you won't go up to Coffs Harbour for Christmas. I mean, wake the fuck up yourself. You don't do anything anyway. Yeah. You know, oh, I can't do that because I'll lose my job. It's just a fucking job. You'll get another one if you're really good. Oh, no, but it's really hard. And, you know, like, fucking people run for security, which is a myth. And so they compromise everything for a security, which isn't real. And then it's only when they get to the other end of their work life and they realise, oh, I've been screwed for nothing, you know, like, oh, I'm going to get bitter and old and yell at children, you know, and they missed out on the rock star lifestyle because they won't take the risk. Rock stars will take the risk. And the bigger the rock star, the bigger the risk. That's just, you know, the way it goes. So many of my friends, a lot of the comics basically, we have long discussions about in our life, you know, you're Tarzaning through your life. You got vine to vine, so you let go of this one to grab hold of the next one. And you're free falling through the air for quite some time until the next rent payment comes in. And we talk to our partners or our friends, and then say, oh, how can you live like that, not knowing where next month's rent's coming from? And it's a fucking way of life for most of us for a long time. You know, you don't know when it's coming, but you just have to trust yourself that you have the skills to get it done. Or talk your way out of trouble at the real estate on Monday when it hasn't got done. So it's one of the others, but you've got to be prepared to take that risk, and people aren't prepared to take that risk. So why they put themselves in the same bucket as these amazing rock stars is, well, it's news to me.
Yeah, look, we've probably basically said some stuff that's going to make some people say, we're awful, terrible humans. Fucking whatever, okay? One point you're trying to get across, being rich, famous, talented, fabulous is not an excuse.
No.
But people who have literally no understanding and no possibility of understanding what that world is, passing judgment, that's also just a special sort of bullshit. Now, if you're not capable of having a discussion, then I'm not really going to waste any time on you. But taking individual incidents out of any person's life and thinking you can judge their entire life based on individual incidents is way more a reflection on you than the person you're judging. So I guess, I think I'm trying to say, don't stop thinking, don't stop engaging, don't just make a black and white decision in a very grey world. And that's what passes for wisdom from us.
Yeah. It passes.
It passes.
Yeah.
So take on what you will. Look, reject anything you don't like. We're all individuals with different worldviews, but I think what we're trying to put forward is stop making arbitrary judgments and keep your brain flexible, because the world is really fucking weird.